Hello everyone, Tim again here, and today I have the pleasure of bringing you some more Call of Duty Black Ops 2 gameplay. Now today I'm playing some hardpoint on the map Express, as you can see, and my class setup is the MP7 with a laser sight, suppressor, the small secondary, lightweight, toughness and dexterity. Wow, that's a bit of a mouthful, but as you guys know, with the new class system there's been some pretty overwhelming changes. Instead of having the basic setup like you did in previous Call of Duties, you've got the 10-point system where you can allocate points in so many different ways. And one of the great things with this Call of Duty already is there's going to be so many different class setups you can use, and one I've really settled on already is this class I've just explained to you there. And before I get into the broader commentary, what I want to quickly talk about is the benefits of using this class. I mean, you just saw from that kill there, the MP7's a fantastic weapon both at close range and over up to medium range because it's really accurate. It's got a high rate of fire, and SMGs now are a 6-bullet kill at range, which is a lot of bullets. But if you've got a weapon which is accurate and high firing like the MP7 is, if you've got decent aim you can compensate for this. So I find it's a really good weapon to take into a map that you're not too sure what you're going to run into, because when you're going into a new Call of Duty, a lot of it is just learning about the new maps, because half of the gunfights that you win are because you've got better map knowledge than your opponent. You flank him, or you're in a bit of cover and you take him by surprise, or like here you come up from behind him. I mean, knowing the maps is one of the most important things, and if you don't know the maps, this is a great class for you to get into because it has lightweight first up as your first perk, and that enables you to run faster. And being able to get around the map quickly is really useful if you go off the beaten track a bit and you need to get back to the areas that are really important, because sometimes accidentally you'll get miles away from the action, but having lightweight enables you to get back there a lot more quickly. But at the same time, you don't want to be caught by surprise, and dexterity is a great perk because that enables you to bring your weapon up faster when you're sprinting. So if you are running back towards the battle zone and you do get caught by surprise, dexterity brings up your weapon really quickly to engage the enemy with. And this is a really good class setup for getting to know the maps, because you move around quickly, but at the same time if you do get caught by surprise by a guy, you can bring your weapon up very fast. And the MP7 is brilliant at close range, and if you are accurate, up to medium range. I mean, you can see here I'm absolutely tearing these guys apart at close range. It's a very good weapon to use. But you know what I want to talk about today is something similar to what the class is about. It's about getting into a new Call of Duty, because as most of you guys know, in the first, say, month or so, most of the people who are playing the game have really no idea what's going on, because there's so much new information being thrown at you. There's a host of new maps, a host of new weapons, loads of new score streaks, and you've got to find the classes that suit you. So in the first few months it gets a bit hectic, people don't really know what they're doing, and it can turn into a bit of a mess as people just charge around the map randomly and things go a little bit hectic. So what I normally like to do whenever I'm starting in a new Call of Duty is play something called consistent Call of Duty. So I'm not going out there trying to get 80 kills a game. What I am trying to do, until I know the maps, until I'm comfortable with what I'm doing, I want to just run a class and run a setup that gets me consistent scores, keeps me moving forward, keeps me winning games and getting good scores. And by doing that, you gradually unlock more things, you begin to learn what you're doing, you know the maps, you're getting your aim back, all of these things start to fall into place. So when you are ready to step up, and you do finally step up to these higher kill streaks and point streaks, you can start to earn them more and more regularly. So what I've been doing in the first, say, 3 or 4 days of this game is focusing pretty much solely on lower kill streaks. I very rarely run anything higher than a lightning strike, although I have been beginning to run sentry gun as my highest kill streak at the moment, because that thing is absolutely awesome, and I'm going to be doing more commentaries on just how good that is. But as you can see here, I've got the hunter killer drone, I've got a lightning strike, and I've got a UAV. And in the first month or so of the game, the UAV is going to be the most potent score streak in the game, because if you think about it, Ghost is only unlocked at level 53, and Ghost is the perk that enables you to stay hidden from UAVs. So until that point, the only way people have to defeat UAVs is either a counter UAV, which traditionally through the history of Call of Duty no one has ever run counter UAVs, even in a game like Black Ops, where the Blackbird was so easy to get and so ridiculously powerful no one used to run counter UAV, so don't expect people to run them now. So for 3, basically what was translates to 3 kills in an old Call of Duty, you can get a score streak up that enables you to basically know where every enemy on the map is at all times, because the vast majority of people you run into aren't going to be level 53. So all of a sudden, a kill streak or a score streak, which is so easy to get, becomes a really, really useful one to use. So I always run UAV every single game, whatever class I'm running, sniper, shotgun, assault rifle, whatever, you run UAV, because it is just so incredibly useful. But the great thing with my second kill streak, the hunter-killer drone, is it fulfills a dual role, because basically it's similar to an old Predator missile in that if you throw it up in the air and there's nothing around, it'll hunt out enemies around the map, and chances are it can get you a double kill or sometimes even a triple kill. So it's a very, very useful score streak in that way. But in another way, if you throw your drone up and there's an enemy UAV up, this thing will go and take it out. So if you're not running a small, you want to run a pistol, or you want to drop a secondary altogether to fit an extra wildcard in, you can run a hunter-killer drone as your basic anti-air weapon. So because a lot of people are using UAVs early on in the game, because like I said earlier, it's a very, very potent score streak at the moment, the hunter-killer is your basic first line of defense against that. You can throw one up and this thing will circle the map for a while. So even if a UAV isn't up, it'll have a little look around, and if one gets called, it'll swoop in and destroy it. But then the great thing is, if there isn't any enemy air support up, this thing will go into a map, take out a couple of enemies and give you more points towards your next score streak. So that's a very, very flexible one. But my final score streak, and one that I've been running very, very regularly, is the Lightning Strike. And this is similar to the Call of Duty Black Ops Mortar, but it's got the steroids boost it desperately needed, because the Mortar was famously underpowered in Black Ops. You know, it was a really, really poor kill streak when compared to some of the other things you could use. So a lot of people didn't use it, but I think in Black Ops 2 they've got the balance right. It's fairly high, so you're not going to get it every life unless you're playing pretty well. So that's nicely balanced. But when you do get it and you use it correctly, it's absolutely fantastic. And because I play pretty much solely objective games, I always like kill streaks that are aerial denials, because that means if you've been forced off the objective, you can use it to clear the objective and move in and take it. And if you're on the front foot and the objective's yours and you know where the enemy is spawning, and if you're using a UAV, chances are you're going to be at this stage, you can use the Lightning Strike as your first line of defense. You put it in front of you. Even if it doesn't hit the enemies, it slows them down, because no one's going to charge into a Lightning Strike. So you can delay the enemies for another 10-15 seconds, which gives you more time to get set up on the objective, capture it, or reinforce it, put a sentry gun down, whatever. And those sorts of kill streaks in objective games are absolutely fantastic, because denying areas of the map is the key way to win games like Domination and Hardpoint. Because if you're constantly fighting a battle gun on the objective, you die so quickly in Call of Duty, chances are you're going to lose one eventually, or you're going to get hit by a lucky grenade, or someone's going to get a UAV up and you're not going to be able to take it out, or like that, a train hits you. You're going to die occasionally. So using kill streaks or point streaks or whatever you call them like that in Domination or Hardpoint, it's a really, really effective way to deny the map. And so far, this has been basically my go-to layout. I've been switching in the sentry gun sometimes as well, especially on Domination with a fixed objective location, because you can put that thing down and it goes absolutely crazy. I've had sentry guns get me 10 kills, and you get them fairly regularly as well. So you're throwing sentry guns down, you basically completely clear the B zone with just that sentry gun. And the great thing is now, sentry guns, guardians, all of the placeable point streaks, they can't be destroyed by a knife anymore. You have to shoot them, you have to nade them, or you've got to take a s'more out and blow them up. And people don't often do that, and people haven't really clocked on that you can't knife them. So they'll run up, knife it, nothing will happen, and then it will shoot them. And then they just can't twig what isn't happening. So this thing will go absolutely ham. So if you haven't used the sentry gun yet, I really do recommend it. It's absolutely amazing if you can keep it alive. But you know, all of these tips I've been giving you today are all about bedding you into a Call of Duty, because that first couple of weeks is a little bit mad, because like I said earlier, no one really knows what they're doing. So if you just stick to basic COD, you get UAVs up, you begin to learn the maps with a nice class that you enjoy using. This is a fantastic example, a very, very versatile class with easy to get but useful point streaks. You're going to go much better. And then when you learn the maps, and when you do better, you always inevitably learn the maps more, because you're moving around more, you're getting kills, you're getting your kill streaks in, so you get that aerial view of the map more often and it begins to click. So by doing that, you step up, you begin to get higher scores, and then when you do transition to the higher kill streaks, you begin to get the really big gameplay. So guys, really hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, it'd make a big difference to me on the channel if you could click like. But once again guys, thanks for you so much for watching, and have a great